We are now recording, and welcome to the Undergraduate Student Orientation at California Intercontinental University. Let's get going. Orientation overview. Mission statement and mission pillars. We're going to talk about CIU, goal setting, who is my advisor, student portal login, how do you access your Learn Center, and student portal will be a big part of this tutorial today. The tutorial is about 20 minutes, half an hour, reviewing the course and how to log in. We're going to talk about technology requirements, course schedule and registration, attendance, course expectations, principles of time management, identifying a study space, student resources and support, staff directory, the intelligence partnership, study partners, and then we'll have an open forum in which we can ask questions. I'll also be pausing during certain portions for questions as well. Okay, so this is our CIU mission statement. California Intercontinental University offers relevant in-demand accredited online programs designed to enhance each student's professional career. CIU is committed to equip the next generation of business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs with the confidence, qualifications, and competence to succeed in the global business community and economy. These are our CIU mission pillars: personal, accessible, and entrepreneurial spirit. All right. And now let's talk about goal setting. How will this program help me reach my goals? So this will be a very important part of your first class at CIU, the biography statement, but all of you are here because you have goals that you want to achieve. That's why you're going back to school, to improve your career, to maybe better your life, to reach a lifetime goal. Whatever the case may be, we're all here for a reason. And let's be some of the things you talk about in your first class at CIU, which I'll show you in the orientation tutorial. Let's go ahead. Before we get officially started with the tutorial, Jessica, Juan, and Sandra, how will this program help you reach your goals? Now, go ahead and introduce yourselves and talk about why you chose CIU. Anybody can go first. It's okay.
I'm letting everybody else go first.
Oh. Well, you can go ahead. Anybody want to share why they came to CIU or what their goal is once they earn their degree?
I'll go first. So I have quite a few relatives that have been in the military, and I want to be a support tech working for the military, and in order for me to do that, I have to have a bachelor's, and it's just something that I'm really into. I have a passion for technology, so I just feel like I can't never not learn enough about it.
Okay, awesome. That's good. So this is a really big part of your career path. The next step is this degree, right? That's good.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sorry, just gonna for a second. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear others. Is anybody else like to share?
Well, I also was working for the military, and what I'm trying to do is to further my education for being a possible supervisor or business-oriented, kind of and I'm starting obviously from the bottom, so.
Okay.
But that's my goal.
Awesome. That's good. That's really great. All of you have been. This is like this is a very important step for all of you in your career. And sometimes in jobs they just say like it comes down to like, oh, if you want to get this kind of job or move in this direction, you have to have a degree. It's just straightforward.
Yeah.
Good. And Juan, would you like to share how this program will reach your goals? That's okay. We can want to think about that. As we get to the next course, that will come up later when we talk about our course room. Okay. Oops, sorry. I think I moved forward a little bit too fast. So who is who is your student advisor? Going back to the slide, I'm actually currently the Executive Student Service Advisor for students with the last names A through K, and I'm here from 8 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. David Rodriguez, the Student Advisor for students' last names beginning L through Z currently. I specialize in undergraduate students. One of the reasons why I'm presenting today. So if you ever follow up with us in our department, both of us are available to assist you. David's here a little earlier from 7 to 4, and I'm here a little later from 8 to 5. So one of us will be available within those time frames. We look forward to working with you. If I'm unavailable, David will help you, and vice versa. We respond within 24 hours, Monday through Friday, and over the weekend. We'll talk more about the services also during the weekend later today. Right?
I have a question.
Sure.
Sorry. So my student services advisor is David Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking notes, so I just want to make sure I have everything correct.
Have you spoken to David before, Jessica?
No, the only individuals that I've received emails from or talked to from the college is I've received emails from you and Joshua. I can't remember his last name, but he was the one that did my admissions.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. All right, so what you're seeing here is the student portal login screen. This is important for students enrolling who've already been enrolled. If you have been enrolled and been emailed that you are a CIU student, that means your account has been officially created, so you can log into the student portal before April 8th. This is what the login screen looks like. And you can see it has a username and password area that you would, of course, fill out your username and password, and you receive it once you speak to your advisor. Once you speak to David and I, and we call it new student onboarding. We onboard you and verify your information, speak to you about this orientation or about any other questions. The system and our email will present to you your login credentials. And so you will receive that once you've been enrolled. So you may have already received that, or will be once that happens. And one thing that's important about the username and password is that many websites nowadays have passwords because of internet security. And so it's really important that you have this saved. You don't lose it. You don't share it. It's very important information. We give you a temporary password, but then we advise you to change it. Once you forgot your if you don't forget your password, you don't have to call us directly. And you don't have to submit a help desk ticket. The easiest way to get your login credentials is on the website where it says "Forgot your password." That is the way you retrieve it. And then once you complete that section with your university email, usually they'll ask you a security question. Understandably, you'll get those emailed to you. You can also email the help desk at times. They can do that for you within 24 hours, or contact us. But contacting David and I is probably the last resort, because that depends if we're at the very moment are available, or if it's during the weekend. So just be aware of that. I would always suggest to save your password. Save your passwords, not just on your computer, somewhere that you have things writing down. This is my suggestion. You'll be online a lot, and it's good practice to have your passwords, not just memorize them, but have them available for you. Before we get started with the tutorial, are there any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So let me now go to this. I actually opened up my Internet Explorer browser, and I think I actually got logged off. But this is actually the student portal. What you're seeing here is actually the campus. What you're seeing here is actually a live student portal. It would have your name, of course, instead of David's. And we have here to the left the campus info, academic section. So this website is not where you go. This is not where the classroom is at. This is not where you submit assignments. This is not where you're doing exams. This is the student portal. So this is what's available now if you've been enrolled and prior to your start date. Because this has all of like your academic administrative information. Stuff that goes on your academic record or payments and files. So for example, academics, you have here degree audit. This shows you all of the classes that you've completed, your class schedule, your GPA calculator. You have your final grades, proctored exam information. There are proctored exams in some of the courses. Then you have your profile, which you have, you can change your password, which I advise you to do so. Your message center, your information, and calendar. And then also you have your finance section. So we have account information. You can make a payment online. You can view tax document. We also have your financial aid area. This will launch next term. And you'll have access to your financial aid information if you utilize financial aid. Document Center, external link, form, and the Learn Center itself. So once you log into the portal for the first time, you have all the information to the left of your screen. It's really important. All right. And then now you're probably wondering, how do I get to the class? So this icon to the bottom left, go to Learn Center, is what the website is called for your classroom. Once you select that, you'll get one more update here, and it'll say Learn Center Access. And it'll say, please disable the pop-up blockers or add the caluniversity.edu domain of the trusted site. Please refer to your web browser's user guide for assistance in disabling pop-up blockers. So right here it has you go to Learn Center. And once you select Go to Learn Center, you'll go to a separate window where you'll have your course room. So one word of advice, that little message here about your pop-up blockers or the CIU website as a trusted site, that's important because when you open up a website for the first time on your computer, it's important that you have that accessible. So if you're doing that for the first time, it's going to ask you prompt you those questions, security reasons, but the answer is yes, you want to add it as a trusted site, you want to disable your pop-up blockers. I use Google Chrome usually at my desk in our office, in our presentation room here. I have here Internet Explorer, compatible with Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, using an Apple computer, so Safari. So all those are compatible. So if you encounter any issues, let me know. But 99% of the time, if you click this and it's not working, it means that you have to disable your pop-up blockers. Very simple. And every internet browser varies. You also will be emailed login credentials directly into the Learning Center as well. It looks like this. I'm going to log into mine. Oops. If we have a question.
I'm just watching.
Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure. Jessica asked, how many days does a student have to be logged in per week? Good question. So there is no amount of days that you have to log in. You have to meet certain requirements, however. For example, if you log in at least once a week, you would meet the minimum requirement. So that means that you logged in once and got everything done in 1 week, in 1 day. Is it possible? Maybe if you work straight the whole day on your assignment, but very likely you'll be working on different days. Maybe you work Tuesday and Wednesday and then submit work on a Saturday, or you work during the week and don't work on the weekend. We'll talk more about that, but there's not like an amount of time that you have to log in as long as you're meeting the requirements to submit the assignment. And we'll talk more about that in one of our next slides.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious because I just transferred from another online school called Independence University, so I'm really familiar with the student portal.
Okay, all right. Good. So you have some online experience, which is good. Yeah, every school is different, the way they monitor attendance and how they review, the requirements to complete your classes. So what you're seeing here on the screen is actually the Learn Center itself. I directly access the Learn Center. So yeah, see that my name is actually on there, but yours will be there and once you log in. So just a couple of things. I'm scrolling down with my mouse. The first thing you always see when you log in is the time zone. It'll always show our time zone. So right now it's about 2:50 here in California. That's important because assignments are due midnight on Sunday every week of the term. So if for some of you, maybe the time zone may be different, like a 2 to 3 hour zone difference. Maybe if you're international, and maybe even larger time zone difference. Regardless of that, it won't change. It'll always be Sunday before midnight on the assignment every week in every program actually right now. So that's something that won't change. You'll always be aware of every week. No surprises there. So it's your role to plan accordingly, submit your work on time. Announcements are also provided here, kind of like a thread you would see on like a social media website. You'll see here the spring break announcement that starts next week, the academic catalog. There's micro courses. This is not available for my instance, it's going to be on yours. You have here, online courses that you can self-enroll that will teach you how to access the online library, how to write, how to do research. So a lot of resources here. Course announcements will also be registered here as well. And then also to the left of your screen, you have here this little icon here in the top right corner. It's a little menu icon in which you can access in which you can minimize and maximize your dashboard. This is where your course will be listed. It'll also be listed up here as well. I'm going to go. I actually had. I think I mistakenly logged out of it. Give me a moment. Oh, so I actually have prepared the course in this slide, in this browser here. I'm sorry. So for the purposes of our demo today, I wanted to have the current class that all of you will be taking. It's called ACE 100, Accelerate, Connect, and Equip. So far, are there any questions regarding what we've covered so far?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm good.
Actually, I have a problem with the login.
Okay, sure. What was your question regarding login?
I don't know my username nor password. So how do we get that?
Okay, so that's going back to one of our first slides. The orientation, you are provided your login credentials once you're enrolled at CIU, and your advisor, David or myself, Eddie Hernandez, provides them to you once you've been enrolled and speak to us and have been onboarded. So once we speak to you and we verify and walk you through it with a phone call, we walk through every student with their login credentials as well. So if you're not enrolled yet, that means you haven't received your login credentials yet. You have to be enrolled. So some of you may not be there yet. So if you're not enrolled yet, ensure that you continue to communicate with your enrollment advisor regarding the status of your enrollment so that, of course, you can get started and enrolled and onboarded before April 8th.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so once you're enrolled, we'll call you. We usually call you sometime within minutes that you've been officially in the system as a student. So if anything's pending, remember, the sooner you get enrolled, the better, because you'll be able to log in. So if there's any pending information, we have to work on that, because next week will be the last week. Okay?
All right.
Good questions. So as I open up here, I have here the course room, Accelerate, Connect, and Equip, stands for ACE 100. This undergraduate course is going to be what everybody starts in the undergraduate program. So I'm scrolling down, and the first thing that you want to review under important course documents before you do anything is the ACE 100 syllabus. And it's an ACE 100 syllabus. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's only 9 pages. But the syllabus is probably the most important document that you'll be looking at, because this is actually everything you need to know about what to do in the class. So as I'm scrolling down, you have your grading and course assessment. And then you also have the week 1, you also have the grading percentage table. And then as I scroll down, you'll see here in the bottom, you have here course project and final exam. Okay? So as you can see here, every week you have grading points and percentage. This is the rubric right here. And then you have your Cal University credit, hour definition. So some basic stuff just to be aware of, you know, how much things are worth. And then you have here the course schedule. So if you ask yourself, like, okay, if you ask Eddie, let's say you call Eddie and David, and you ask, what do I do next? Or your instructor, you know, what assignment is due next? Well, remember, your syllabus will always inform everything that's due. So you have here under course resources, week 1, you have your student biography, which I'll show you in a moment. You have to read and review the lesson, participate in Unit 1 discussion, complete the Unit 1 mini writing assignment, complete the Unit 1 exam, and then week 2, you have your communication techniques, and you have the lessons here. Week 3, classroom mastery, week 4, personal growth, week 5, academic writing skills, and week 6, critical thinking and information literacy. So as you see, there's exam and final projects due every week. Well, final project in week 6, but there are exams every week. There's a writing assignment every week, a discussion question every week. So you have in your first class, you have, after you complete your bio, which I'll show you, you have reading there's lessons that are in every week. You will have a discussion question. You will respond to the question and respond to 2 other classmates. You will write a paragraph in the mini writing assignment, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then you have an exam every week. You have discussion questions, writing assignments, and exams every week. And you have a whole week to finish it. You don't have to submit everything on Tuesday. You don't have to get everything done by Friday. Currently, everything has to be done on Sunday. So maybe if you work, maybe you get everything done on Friday. That's your day off. Good. Maybe you work primarily in the weekend. Maybe you work ahead. Maybe in the weekend you work or are busy, so you get work done Monday through Friday. That's good too. It's up to you, the student, to select when you want to do the coursework. And I'll show you in a moment why. Because as I scroll down, I'm going to scroll down just for a moment so I can reference what I just said. In Unit 1, everything's already there. See, all the assignments are listed here. There's even a practice exam in the lesson. In Unit 2, you can work ahead. It'll also show the other assignments. So you'll always know what to do and what the questions are. Here's the syllabus quiz, here's the biography. When I scroll up, so one word advice also, you can download your syllabus. You may want to also print out your syllabus too. I want to pause for a moment. We're going to make sure roll call. I know we understand we were expecting some other students as well in there, in here today. That may be just listening in. I know we have Jessica, Sandra, and Juan. Are there any attendees? I got a note here. We may have had a few more attendees that are listening in. We're also expecting, I believe Garrett was joining us. Okay, I got a note here. He was going to join us, so I want to make sure. If you're only listening in, you're only able to log in. You won't see you on the attendee list on the teleconference line. If you're only listening in, you can't see the PowerPoint. But we'll continue. Maybe we'll have a few more people join us as we continue with the tutorial. Okay. So let's move forward, everybody. So another note here I want to show everybody is the HK essay template. we have here, so at CIU, you are going to write research papers from time to time. And the first class, every week you'll have to write a paragraph. And you're going to write a paper, and you're going to use Microsoft Word, for example. And just to note, many students, if you have a computer, you already have Microsoft Office. But as a CIU student, you're also going to receive Microsoft 365 and download it. So you're going to get a copy of Microsoft Word as a CIU student. And once you get that, you can download Microsoft Word and write a paper if you don't already have it. So this is just a template. So a template means, this is like an example of what you want to use and reference when writing a paper. And APA stands for the American Psychological Association. That's kind of a lot to say. So in the university, you've taken maybe college classes before, or have maybe written an essay before going to college. There are different ways to write an essay. And when you do research in college, there will be different ways to write research papers. In business, it's the APA format. And so typically it has a cover page like this, which has a running head that includes the first 50 characters of the title of your paper. And you have the title of your paper, your name, university, course name, professor's name, and date. And then you also have, this is where you write your paper. As you can see, it has the running head continuing. It has a paragraph indented here. There's website references. And as you can see, just by the language, this is just actually an APA paper introducing what APA format is. The conclusion is part of it too. References. So if you're going to, all research articles will have references where you can reference a website, a book, research that maybe you found online. All of that goes here. So one thing that you'll be learning in the first class and in your English classes is how to write a paper. So the first class will help you do that. So don't be discouraged if you're learning what the Writing Center, writing a paper now. That's what the first class is going to help teach you. But you want to ensure to look at this template and look at the resources that the class has before writing a paper. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go now review a few more resources here. Ebook. Students receive an electronic textbook. As a CIU student, you don't have a textbook in the first class, so you don't have to download a textbook now. But in your future courses, you will, and I'll show you how to do that in one of the resource center later. But there's also Grammarly. Grammarly is one of the resources that we provide to students who would utilize this application to detect spelling and grammar errors and also better writing skills. This tool called Grammarly, and there's actually, I think, commercials of it online, I think on YouTube too. Grammarly has a username and password. You get credentials. But actually, the way that you would use Grammarly as a CIU student, so you don't have to be sorry about that. Oops. I think I accidentally minimized. Sorry about that. Let me go back to the screen.
Is it messing up? Like, what's messing up?
No.
Sorry about that. I actually minimized it.
I was just going to see about the kids being watched when I go to class.
I'm sorry, were there any questions?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Sorry about that. Let me get back into the class. I accidentally clicked out of it. And that may happen too when you're in class. You always go back in. We just go back to class. Sorry about that. Accidentally logged out.
Yeah, but I'd have to.
I was saying, Grammarly is a writing enhancement tool. I'm sorry, what was that?
Answer questions. That's it.
Hello? just once again, I do apologize, but I want to ensure that you're able to answer questions. It's being recorded, so there's a lot of background noise.
Somehow you must have muted me, but I think I've taken care of it. Okay, good. So as I was saying, is the Grammarly user manual. So to use Grammarly, you provide a university email, as I mentioned earlier. So when you're onboarded, we email you a university email that's your student email that you use moving forward. It comes with the Microsoft 365 account. So Grammarly requires you to use university email to log in. So you have to have a university email to get this tool for free. So every term there's a university email and access code in which you will utilize to access Grammarly and download it on your computer. Okay? So then we have here, just going down, we have here, course announcement, a general form, instructor information. So the instructor will provide her information here. So if you're already a contact instructor, she will list her bio, she will list her procedures, her policies, her contact information under instructor information. And you can reply to her here as well. So your instructor will always introduce themselves in the classroom and available to you online. You may be able to call them depending on their hours in which they're able to talk to you directly. You can post questions to them. So in Unit 1, I want to review, first of all, the student biographies. The student biography assignment direction. Students must complete a biographical assignment and post no later than Monday before midnight. So the student biography is the only assignment that's due on Monday, but it's really simple. It's no more than 3 paragraphs. And it's a description of key professional experiences, publications, and achievements. And you also just talk about your academic experiences, your motivations, and interesting fun facts. You basically talk about yourself. This is like it's like yourself just introducing yourself on the first day of class. Like maybe you did before, and like some people do that I know I do that like in high school sometimes and in college. Just raise your hand and say where you're at and where you're coming from and why you're here. Basically, very simple. And so you complete the bio really easily by, first of all, when you've read the prompt, you add a new discussion, you put your subject, so you put, like, for example, my name, and you can type it in. Just type your post. See? You can copy paste it. Some students want to upload their bio, so some students prepare their bio beforehand. It's cool too. I think it's easiest to just type it in. Type in as you would anywhere. Just type in about yourself. It shouldn't take more than maybe 15 minutes, depending on how much you want to how much you want to put in the classroom. Because remember, when you post discussion questions, it's open for everybody to see and open for everybody to comment. It's kind of like maybe posting something on Facebook or Twitter in some ways, but it's in the classroom. So just be aware of that when you post it in the bio or in any kind of forum. And then your bio will be listed here. Hello. Okay. I'm going to go back to the classroom and go over a couple more things. All right. So there's also a syllabus quiz. So remember, the syllabus quiz, you also earn credit. If you have your syllabus open, it should be really easy if you have the syllabus. All the answers are, spoiler alert, they're all in the syllabus. So you like, for example, attendance in the course is required at least once a week. It's not optional, not every other week. It's not technically 3 times a week. It is a once per week. That's the syllabus quiz. Really simple if you've reviewed the syllabus, which you must to do the class. So just a couple things about the first course. You may have your enrollment advisor and myself talking about your first class, your first assignment, biography statement. But what's most important, because it's not just worth a lot of points, this is the actual assignments weekly, are the other assignments. You have discussion questions. So in the first week, you have your discussion question. You got to get that done. And it has a question here. and ensure to read requirements and important information. You have to answer the question and reply to 2 other classmates. And that has to be all done by Sunday. You also have here exams. So the exams are currently 120 minutes, is 2 hours, and you get 2 attempts. There's the exams listed there. They're all online, open book. So you should have all the information in front of you if you've read the lessons, and you of course will read the lessons listed here. And you have your mini writing assignment. So as you can see here, in the writing assignment, each week you will submit a paragraph on the topic of succeeding in my educational journey. You will compile each of these mini writing assignments to assist in developing your final project essay as explained in Unit 6. So every week you're going to have a different topic to choose. So like for example, in this one, you're going to talk about the Writing Center and what are your plans for using these resources, an example. So that's really important. Every week you're going to write a paragraph paper. And in Unit 6, you're going to turn in that paper and a full document. You'll learn about the APA format as you complete. So ensure that you review the expectations. And if your instructor provides you feedback, ensure to use that feedback to either make corrections and improve upon your next assignment. And you can work ahead. As you can see here, there's Unit 2, Unit 3, very similar, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 6. Okay? So you can have all the coursework laid in front of you. Okay? All right. So, looking at the course room, I'm going to go over a couple more things in the Resource Center. Are there any questions so far?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go over now I'm sorry, what was that?
I was saying any questions.
Okay. No questions? Okay. So under student resources, if you ever need additional help, student resources where you want to go. You have a math lab here, so I'm just going down the drop-down menu. So the math lab is a forum so you can ask for help with one of the math tutors. His name is Dr. Hess. And then we also have a writing center, too. The writing center is really helpful. So if you're asking yourself, where do I go to help to write and to do up APA format? The writing center addresses all of that. So as I scroll down, you'll see here that there's a Writing Center YouTube channel. There's the APA style guide and template again. More APA information. There's information here for students even in the graduate program, like the doctorate program. So everybody goes to the Writing Center. Everybody. Everybody want to help. I want to help for the Writing Center when I was in college. Doctorate students go to help. MBA students who are already been in school for a few years. Everybody at times goes to the Writing Center. It also shows you how to download a Grammarly report. We have the Writing Center chair, Dr. Don Kirk-Macon. Writing specialist, Dr. Lozada. Writing specialist, Dr. Daniel Chavez. So each of them has a request and review section here. Like he specializes with undergraduate students in APA format. So we scroll down. And another note here is that they respond within 24 to 48 hours. So it's really important that you make time to request a review in a timely fashion. You want to request a review, early in the week and definitely before the weekend if your assignment's due Sunday. We also have writing specialist, Dr. Elizabeth Forzon as well. Okay. That is the Writing Center. So you may not use it in the first week of class, but once you get used to working on assignments and working about writing, take some time to navigate through the Writing Center. There's also the Student Resource Center. There's a forum. There's a CIU Student Handbook, the book list. There's also a tutorial on, back to the book list, I'm sorry. In other courses, you'll have a textbook, an e-textbook. So the book list is listed here if you want to work through it ahead.
Hello?
I'm sorry? Okay. Sorry, I thought we had a question.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so the book list is listed here to download. You can always do your textbooks as well here. Then you have your Vital Source bookshelf information here. There's a tutorial here on the textbook information. Then Verify, Plagiarism, Scan, and Grammarly. It's another plagiarism scanner, Grammarly account. And then we also have the Code of Conduct policy listed here. That's why it's appropriate that your students are aware of how to conduct themselves and communicate with their faculty, as well as with submitting assignments. This is you have to confirm that this is your work. That's really important. We also have a new tool that we announced last year called Pocket Confidant, a really great tool in which a virtual coaching tool, AI-based, artificially intelligence-based. This tool is available to all CIU students. You get an email activating your account during the first week of class. This is an area where you can actually also locate your Pocket Confidant. Okay, and then also that's a resource center. There were a couple more things. We have the online library, LIRN. This is actually the online. So there's a lot of databases here. Scale. These are databases for conducting research. You won't learn about the online library as we continue. But if you ever ask, to collect 2 articles in the online library, and so this is where it is listed here. You'll learn about research in your course. As you can see, there's a lot of different databases to conduct research and find articles for your papers. Okay. And then also we have technical support. Welcome to the support center. You open up a new ticket here.
What's a ticket?
Oh, I'll show you just in a few seconds. So a ticket is an online ticket. So it's basically like if you're asking for help or have a technical issue, once you press new ticket, it'll give you this screen here in the support center. You put your email, your full name, your phone number, your topic, your summary, so you can type in your question here.
Yeah. And then they contact you?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll reply via email. You want to be very clear on the topic so they can direct you to the right department. You want to be very clear about, you type it in yourself. So, if you don't provide all the details, then it'll be harder to kind of address it right away. So if they call you, especially if it's over the weekend, you don't give all the information that's necessary. It may take longer, so it's important to be in any kind of request, just be as clear and concise. Sometimes things can be resolved within seconds or within minutes if it's not a pertinent issue, but sometimes we do want to review exactly what the issue is, and maybe other students may be having the issue. So, at time being online, things like that may happen, but the support center will apply within 24 hours to address those issues immediately.
Gotcha.
That is the ticket. All right. Oops. So that kind of concludes our tutorial section, tutorials at orientation. Are there any questions so far what I've covered on the tutorial side? We want to spend the next like 15 minutes or so reviewing a couple more things in the orientation.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Awesome. So I'm going to go back to the orientation, go over a couple more things. So let's check in. Go ahead and answer these live. Who is my advisor? Your last name is A through K. It's myself, Eduardo Hernandez. Your last name is L through Z, David Rodriguez. How do I
David
access
Rodriguez.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. So for Jessica and Sandra, it'll very likely be Jessica. It'll be David Rodriguez, and myself. For Juan, I'll be working with you. And if there's any changes to the advisor setup, they do sometimes change. We will let you know, because I typically do work with students with undergraduate students. How do I access my course? You can access it via the student portal or going directly to the Learn Center website. And what assignment am I required to submit on the first day of class? It's the biography statement. Are there any questions regarding advisors, course access, or student biography?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, no worries. So let's talk about technology requirements, everybody. So you see here that there's a few things that must be addressed before you get started. One, of course, is, and you should all have this, a computer with reliable internet connectivity. You must have a computer, and that's part of your enrollment agreement. And if you have a computer, you must have internet to be online. And if you don't have either of those or one of them, then that's a concern. Because if you have a phone, I know phones you can go online, but you can't submit stuff. If you have a tablet, you can read, and you can't always submit or write research papers, or it takes a lot of time if you have that kind of tablet. Not really reasonable. And then also, you have to use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint for assignments. You must be familiar with your internet browser. A lot of students use Google Chrome and have Adobe Acrobat Reader to view your PDF. That's really important. You have these basic things, that's good. If you don't have any of these things or don't know what these things are, I want to help you now. So does everybody here, at least everybody has a computer with internet access, or have any questions about the technology?
No, I have it all.
Okay. All right. Good. No, it's good. And if something happens too, sometimes then your computer breaks down, or maybe internet in your house goes down. Happens to me. My computer broke when I was in college, and I had to use the library for a couple of days before I found ways to invest in a new one or got mine fixed one time. It happens, but that shouldn't stop you. That's why as an online student, it's really important to have a backup plan and also be just aware of what expectations you may have with them. Okay. Course schedule and registration. We register classes for you. There are 8 terms courses in a year, and every course is 6 weeks. So every program, you'll take 8 classes in a year. Every class is 6 weeks, no matter what. All schedule changes must be done during week 1. And I would also advise you as a new student to review the catalog. You receive it when you enroll. There's a link to it here. There's a link on our website. Many of you, the catalog has all our policies, all of the classes, all of the schedules. You want to do that accordingly. And the reason I bring up about schedule changes is that every term there's the first week is where you address any questions about your classes in your schedule. And if there is going to be a change, you have to do it in week 1. So you can't change classes or there are costs attached to changing things up or dropping after week 1. There seriously is. So you want to address things with us during week 1. After that, there'll be impact. So be aware of that and contact Dave and I, please. If you have anything coming up in your class or in your schedule, even if things are undecided, like if something comes up that was unexpected, sometimes a family emergency, a medical issue, please let us know. Even if you want to spend 1 minute texting us or 1 minute writing us an email, all of that matters to help you. And this goes with attendance too on my next slide. So attendance, students must attend and participate in their course on a weekly basis. We already kind of covered that. So I showed you how to do a bio, and I showed you how to post a discussion question. So those are things that would count as attendance. Anything that you do academically, anything that you submit, that counts as attendance, as you see here on our screen. Active participation in the course. Attendance is not logging in, like logging in and then just seeing things. Or logging in and going, or maybe messaging a student or your professor. Or maybe even using the writing center. You have to log in. Attendance is in the classroom and it's in the assignment. Logging in is not logging into your course without active participation or participating in academic counseling or advising. All right, and then also just another note, assignment deadlines are really important. Unit assignments are due for completion Sunday of each week by midnight, including all discussion questions and responses. So everything must be done by midnight that is assigned in the course room. If you don't attend for 14 consecutive days, you will be withdrawn for non-attendance. Completion of weekly units are required. Late submissions will result in grade penalties or not accepted. So if you're an online student, one of the things that you'll be learning, of course, is time management. One important thing in college, to be really honest, just learning from my personal experiences, is you're learning about yourself and your commitment and meeting deadlines. Everywhere you go to, there's deadlines. Whatever school it is and whatever job you have. So, part of being in school is meeting the deadlines about your assignment. So that's really important. We offer you the opportunity to do things at the way you want to submit them within the week. So it's not like other schools where you have to go to school on Tuesday, you have to go to school on Friday. You choose during the week what you want to do and how you want to attend within the week. But if you're submitting things late, that adds up to losing points. And I don't want that to happen to you. So ensure that you communicate with us very directly if you have any questions or concerns. After 2 weeks, after 14 days, you then drop from an online class. So I hope that doesn't happen. We call you, so as soon as you don't show up for that 1 week, we text you, we email you. So if something has changed, please let us know so we can help you and find a solution. Remember, course expectations, you have to understand the syllabus and instruction policies. You have to attend weekly. You have to write assignments in APA format. There are expectations that are expected as an online student. Let's check in, everybody. What technology do I need? You're required to have a computer with reliable internet connectivity. When are assignments due? Each unit must have discussion. Yes, perfect. By Sunday. And how long is each course? Does anybody want to answer that?
6 weeks.
Awesome. Yep, in a unit per week. So every week is a unit of assignments due. Just a couple more notes. We're wrapping up here. I want to ensure to give everybody time to have a Q&A. Just a couple more notes here. Just one thing to acknowledge is identify a study space. Ensure you find a place that works best for you. I think it's really important. It's not just about being online or having a computer. You want to be in a place that you can concentrate, that that you can have internet, that will help you kind of create a schedule, your spot in the house or your area in the neighborhood in which you will be able to access your course room successfully. Principles of time management. This is kind of a preview of our academic success workshop. A couple of notes here. Use time wisely. Plan accordingly. Plan ahead. Give yourself breaks. Just another note that I like to tell students is that in the ebook, you can also print them out, and then some of the ebooks have the option to have book audio. And I think it's also very important that you decide for yourself when is the best time to study. Maybe you're more of a night person and you study in the evening when it's nice and quiet and the family to bed. And maybe it doesn't impact your work schedule too much. Or you work in the morning, or maybe you work in the afternoon. Everybody works differently, and everybody has a different work schedule and family obligations. So you decide for yourself when it works. You may not even actually decide for yourself in the first class. Maybe you want to change it after trying different things. But think about when do I work best? When am I less tired? What do I have to sacrifice to do my homework? You can't watch the show. You can't watch the same TV shows or do some of the fun stuff you did before in the same way and go to school successfully. You have to probably make adjustments. If you're spending time after work watching TV like I do sometime after work, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a paper due the next day. So that's the point. That's one of the goals of being a college student is the sacrifice, because you're making the sacrifice now, then you can better yourself and your career and your family. That's really important. And we have workshops when we get started here at CIU as a student. Here are some more resources and support. We also provide students a CIU a student ID card. You can email us a picture with a white background. This is our staff directory. I'm sure you're aware, in particular, if you have a question about financial aid, many of you may have already talked to a financial aid officer before enrolling. They specialize in that. So one thing that's really important is that you want to ensure that you're able to access, you want to contact the financial aid officer if you have those financial aid questions. It's really important because they're the ones who have direct access to that information, as would someone in student accounts listed here. So if you have financial aid questions, you go to financial aid. If you have a payment question, student accounts. If you have a registrar question, you go to the registrar. And that just helps you to get your questions answered fast. If you call David and I and you ask, well, how much money do I owe? We don't have that information. So we hate for you to be frustrated about that. Same things like how do I submit a loan? Student accounts may not know the information, or David and I don't have access to that information. So you want to ensure that you're aware of who to speak to. And if you're unsure, please let us know. It's okay if you don't right away. Neither did I when I first went to school. And then lastly, Pocket Confidant we talked about is a coaching tool, an app, and a link they provide as a virtual coaching tool. And then also Study Partners. Also, if most of you have probably shared with a family member and coworker that you're going back to school, which is awesome. So we're still accepting applications for April 8th, and every year there's students who graduate together and are successfully joined together. Maybe not even living in the same city. Some students, some time members join the program here at CIU. They're living all over the country and across the country. So it's really helpful. It's something not everybody has the opportunity to do. But if you have someone or know somebody, been working with somebody, you can go to school together. It's not just different ages. It can be someone can join an undergraduate degree. Maybe you have a family member who wants to do a DBA, a doctorate. We offer that as well. So let's check in. I want to wrap up here. We're finishing right around 3:30. What are two resources for academic support? The Math Lab and the Writing Center. Are students issued ID cards? Yes, you'll be issued an ID card after the completion of the first course. And that concludes. I want to really open up this for you guys to ask questions. You're going to copy the PowerPoint. I talked a lot today, so I hope I was helpful. But please do with Jessica, Sandra, and Jason. I want you guys to kind of think about what we talked about today. Maybe you don't have questions right away right now, but I'm always available to assist you, as is David. Right now, as we conclude the orientation, I know we went over a lot. What did you guys have any questions about, and what are your comments? That'd be very helpful even for me, understanding what you need as a CIU student. So I'm gonna just open up these last few minutes for all of you.
I know we don't need any books in this first lesson, but how do we go about getting books? Did you show us that?
Yes. So the first class will always have this part right here. Let's see here. There's a tutorial in the Resource Center, And there's also this will also be included in the classes that do have an ebook. Now, I think I glossed that over a little too fast. I'm sorry about that. So Vital Source is the name of the e-textbook application. It's compatible with all the web browsers listed here. So when the textbook icon pops up in the course room, you're able to download it on your desktop or laptop. You can also download the Vital Source app on your tablet or phone. So Vital Source is the textbook application in which you can download and read the ebooks.
Okay.
So after you class, other courses will have different textbooks, but they'll use the same Vital Source app. So thanks for bringing that up. That makes something I glossed over in the first class, in orientation. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that.
I have a question.
Sure.
So in the beginning, when we was talking about the student portal, you said we had to log in before the start date, which is April 8th. How soon can we log in?
For the student portal, you can log in as soon as you're enrolled, but the classroom won't be available until April 8th, like the Learn Center part. This part that I'm seeing on the screen, this part is not available till April 8th, but the portal you can log in now if you've been enrolled. There's nothing in the portal that has to be done by the student before April 8th, so it's more just for your own benefit, able to log in and view your information. There's nothing in the portal before April 8th, and as well that you need to be done, at this time. So I wouldn't worry too much, but you can log in though still, because it does help having that available to you.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm familiar with a lot of this. I was already in the middle of this exact same class that I'm taking through independent universities, so I'm pretty familiar with the student portal.
Okay, that's awesome. That's good. Your feedback was really important to us. It's really good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. We have time for one more question. Or any other comments? Is there anybody else that did not? Oh, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying that was all.
Okay, I hope this was helpful. I hope everybody found this, and if you weren't nervous, you feel better. I hope that was one of the goals today. But I'll send you a copy of this as well, but along with the PowerPoint itself. Give you ample time to go back and reference. Is there anything we didn't cover? I hope not, but sometimes there is things that you may have questions about that we haven't really addressed in orientation, which is okay. Now, is there anybody else? Sometimes during orientation, we have people who jump in or don't introduce themselves. Is there anybody else who did not speak up and dialed in listening in? If you joined late, it's okay. I just want to make sure I can address you and mark you down as attendance today. Anybody else who has yet to introduce themselves in our online orientation? If not, that's okay. I just want to always make it clear. Sometimes people are shy. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you're having a great day, everybody. All of you brought up some great questions. Thank you for sharing about yourselves and why you're here at CIU. I look forward to working with all of you as you earn your degree here with us. If you ever hear back from any of us at CIU, we're calling you to help you. But have a wonderful day. Tomorrow's Friday, which is good for many of you. Anything else want to address in our open forum?
No.
I think that'll be it.
Good. Well, I hope I was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care, and really welcome to CIU. Congratulations, everybody. You made a great commitment to yourself and your career, and have a great day.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, take care.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.